Hey, welcome to Environmental Science 12, Plant Materials and Uses. In this class, we're going to learn a lot about plants, both from the botany perspective, like learning how to identify plants out in the wild using dichotomous keys, and also from the landscaping perspective, which can be quite different approaches. We have the list. I think that's what I always call it because it's kind of a big deal for the course. 200 plants. It's taken from the Pacific Horticulture Association, and they're the plants that landscape professionals need to know in order to be a certified landscape professional. And you guys, students, will be presenting these plants to each other, keeping your own personal plant library of all these plants so that you can identify them on our little Canvas practicums with pictures, but also out in the wild. We'll take field trips on campus, probably go to Caltech because they have great landscaping. Haven't figured out all the field trips yet, but we'll be going out and looking at plants growing and learning how to tell what their names are, the names we call them anyway. Our class culminates in a big landscape design project that will be a group project, so be thinking already about potential sites you might want to design, and once class starts, potential people you might want to work with. You probably already figured out that we will be doing virtual class for the first month or so, at least until the end of January. 24th, maybe 25th. And after that, hopefully, we'll be face-to-face. So I will see you on our Canvas link, our Zoom link from Canvas on Tuesday at 8:45 until we hear otherwise. And I'm looking forward to sharing the exciting world of plants with you. And as part of that exciting world of plants, here's the schedule for our course. So on this first week, we'll be kind of going over what the class is, tips for how to use Canvas, and then some information overview of the plant kingdom and how plants are named. And we'll get the plant presentation signups started. 5 students every week will be presenting 3 plants each, so we'll be adding 15 plants to our personal plant library every week. Then we'll go into phylogeny and cladistics. There's a reason it sounds kind of sadomasochistic and problematic. For some people, it's awful stuff, but I think it's kind of cool. The tree of life, so understanding some of plant evolution so that you have a scaffold upon which to place the content that we're going to learn. And we start out learning these plants. So we got like 2 things going on. We have the evolutionary progression of the plants through time, and that's what we kind of go over, and we have soft chalk activities and things like that to help you have a framework for how these plants evolved and how their different morphological patterns occurred chronologically, like over time. And then we also have the plant list, which is kind of the horticultural version of plants, so it's not related to evolution or anything else. It's related to how they're used. Trees, shrubs, houseplants, etc. So we have both of those things concurrently. So your student presentations are going to be with the list, and then we also have this sort of like evolutionary perspective happening. We'll cover plant breeding and different cultivars and nativars as we move into the gymnosperms, and then we introduce dichotomous keys. And then we'll have our first plant practicum quiz, whatever. It's pictures online. I haven't figured out yet how we're going to do this in person, but that's an aspiration for right now, is to also have practicums that happen out in the field. Then we cover soils. There's so much to cover in soils. It seems that one class is not really sufficient, but we'll make it work. Water in week 6, and we're moving on through the different plant groups right there, and then another quiz on the students' plant presentations from the plant list. Week 7 is where we introduce the landscape project. So the overview of this is, you need to do a site assessment, like where is the place you're going to be doing this, understand soils, water, availability on site, the slope of the site, whether it's north, south, east, west facing, whether it's hilly or flat, and then zone and sector analysis, which we'll talk about when we get to there. It's a permaculture idea, but really important in landscaping and often completely ignored by landscape designers. So if you end up being a landscape designer, you will be much in demand with this kind of knowledge. And then client interviews, which can be a little bit tricky. And this is the real world of doing landscape design, is not just in a vacuum, like I'm going to design this landscape because I think this is pretty. It's really working with whoever owns the land or who's going to use the land and making sure that what you did meets their expectations. And then we'll have spring break. Then we'll work on designs and drawings. And so I have some ideas for different programs. I am not a landscape designer. You'd know that if you looked at my yard. stuff plants in everywhere. And so there are some things that landscape designers need to know, like these drawing software programs, like I do not know. So what we did last year was the students actually did some critiquing of different systems. And if you find one that you like within the ones that I provide you to critique, then great, you're welcome to use it, but you're not required to use it. If you're able to use it and able to teach others, that would be great. Another plant quiz, and then here we go, site selection and clients. So this is where we actually do, put it on paper at this point. So we're not just learning some strategies, which we're talking about up here, like there's the whole project. We're actually doing this. So, and then the actual client interview, doing a base map of the site that you have selected and coming up with a plant list, and then maybe some themes for the garden. The landscape that you're designing. Here's where we do the zone and sector analysis in week 12. Then we get moving on to the progress report. Like I'm hoping that you're working with your group well and that it's going okay. Peer review of your draft of the landscape plan. So you share it with others and they give you some feedback. And then we're done. Before you know it, we're done. And you know a lot more about plants. Yeah? Okay, I hope to see you on Tuesday.